So, good morning, Mark. Riding Santos in the first race. Unlucky last time. How do you fancy him?
Yeah, he was. He got, we attempted to take a tight gap and unfortunately the gap closed on us. Look, I'm not saying he would have won the race, but he probably would have been a lot closer. He's taken the run quite well. He's probably a fitter horse this time. These 0.25s, you can never really be overconfident. But the horse himself is well and expecting a good run.
Looking at the field, it's not that competitive. 7 draw at the finish, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a horse of Paul Fokung. We don't know how he'll run. You don't know how horses are going to run first time out. He's got pretty decent South African form, but like I said, you don't know how they run first time here. So on exposed Mauritian form, he must have a chance. He'll be running on strongly at the finish.
So fourth stride on the kilometer, 3rd draw. How do you rate him?
Yeah, he was very green his first run. We put a pair of blinkers on him just to maybe help him concentrate a bit. I think he's still a bit of an immature horse and a young horse. You'll probably see the best of him later on. He's definitely come on from the run, but I'm expecting him still to be a little bit green.
So Smitten seems to be a very promising sort. How do you fancy him?
Yeah, he ran a very good race first time out. He's come on from the run. My only really question mark is that he was beaten by Prince Awalton and Space Beam, and both of them didn't really perform their next start. So we don't know exactly how strong that form line is. But the horse himself has improved. He's a very uptight sort of horse, so that's also a concern. He's very uptight and pulls. So we need to get him to settle nicely in the race, and I'm sure he'll give a good account of himself. But like I said, I'm worried about that form line. There's two horses that finished in front of him, did nothing their next start, so that is a little bit of a worry.
Maybe the second run of a rest syndrome?
Could be, I just hope that this horse doesn't sort of perform the same as those two horses. I hope that he's come on and run a better race. If he does, then I suppose he's got a very good chance.
So there's also Beach Club, big mass, but 2nd draw. How do you fancy him?
Yeah, last time he had also 61, and it was a very fast run race, and we tried to place him right up there. I think that destroyed his chances. With that sort of weight, you can't rush too much, and I think obviously the 1400 will probably be a little bit better in his favour. It's a tough field. It's a tough sort of race, but Beach Club always gives his best, and if we can get him in a nice position without too much bustling, and get him to settle nicely. He always runs hard to the line. He's a trier, so like I said, if things can go my way, he's got a good chance.
What can we expect from Chirac?
Chirac, well, his last run last season was a much better run. He ran a good race. I think you can ignore his last run. It was a day that we had all that rain, and I don't think he enjoyed it. He just never really wanted to gallop in those sort of conditions. So I think you can put a line through that run. We're just hoping for improvement from him, because we thought that maybe this year we could get him to pick up 1 or 2 races. So I think this race we'll just have to see exactly how he runs, and still like Fort Stride, young and immature horse that needs to still learn how to race properly. But I think we're getting to the bottom of him, and I just hope that he runs a good race.
So, Democratic Man, how do you find him actually?
Well, he's coming back from a quite a severe injury. Credit to the stable. They've managed to bring him back to the track. Obviously, 1400 is not his ideal trip. There's not really a race for him, so we put him in the 1400. I think he'll need the run badly, and this run will probably bring him on and get him fitter for when we do find a nice race for him.
So looking at the cards, there could be some decent chances. What for you would be your best chance for tomorrow?
I think I've got 2 realistic chances, Smitten and Beach Club. They're not good things by all means. There is a couple of question marks, but they've got good chances, and hopefully we can bag 1 or 2 winners. I'll be very happy.
One last question, Mark. You're not riding the main race. How would you fancy that particular race?
I think Greenkeeper was very, very unlucky last time. For me, I think he lost his race at the start. He didn't jump great on term, and then, as you know, Greenkeeper can pull. So Johnny had to go around them and then eventually find himself in front, and he just got pipped on the post. I think had he jumped and got in front like he normally does and settled, he probably would have won. So I think Greenkeeper is going to be a very, very hard horse to beat, in my opinion. Yeah, I think going through the card for me is probably the bank of the day.
Last for, when would we see Polar Bound?
Well, we still, you know, it was quite a tough race that he had. We sent him back to Floreal. Obviously, the race was tough on him, so we just want to freshen him up, get him back to standard, and we're going to look for a nice race for him where hopefully he could win, you know, because he's a sort of horse that will probably participate in the classics. So we don't want to rush him. We want to look after him. You know, our plan is to try and win a classic with him, and it's possible. I mean, he ran a cracking race in the Duchess. I thought he was unlucky, so we don't want to rush him. We just want to take our time with him, get him back to sort of full fitness. I think this run under the belt he'll be a better horse. He knows the track now, so definitely take it easy with him. Work out a nice sort of program for him for the season, where we want to go with him, and hopefully, if everything goes well, we can pick up a big one. Thanks.